Once upon a time, all ideas were in the public domain. Every invention and every piece of art could be built upon by the generation that followed. And one inventor built on the public domain to create the printing press, the machine that created the modern world, and with it, a beautiful dilemma. Now ideas could be spread around the globe. But how could an individual now profit from his or her creative efforts? The solution was the first copyright law. The Statute of Anne gave authors exclusive rights to their work, but the law was meant to be a balance between the rights of authors and those of the public. So after 14 years, the work fell into the public domain and anyone could copy it. But over the years, people kept inventing newer and better copying machines, each disrupting the business model that had come before. From the player piano to the radio to the VCR, each technology originally copied ideas without paying the copyright holder. The solution was always a balance. Lawmakers ensured the right of the new technology to innovate while maintaining the right of authors to still get paid. By 1998, the music industry was raking in over $13 billion a year. And that's when an 18-year-old college dropout invented Napster, a program that transformed the world's computers into a peer-to-peer music sharing network. The record industry realized that in this future, they would lose control. So when Napster offered to pay $1 billion in exchange for a license to allow their users to keep copying, the record industry refused to evolve, parted with history, and started suing.
Piracy.
Jackie and I are on a mission to stop piracy.
If this were a movie, we could take on the bad guys ourselves.
But this is the real world. We need your help.
When you buy pirated movie and music, you support criminals.
Now these criminals are counterfeiting other things, like electronics and medicine.
Take action.
Demand the real thing.
Help us stop piracy.
Let's terminate it.
American record.
Are those who want to
Lawsuits
share
against
ideas.
10-year-olds, subpoenas
We'll call
delivered
them
at
the
schools against stroke
comprised
victims,
of
against
faceless
people.
movie
You
studios,
can't
public
put
domain,
locks
must
on your
protect
citizens.
6 Hollywood streamings by 4 major record labels are now control Hollywood. These are these companies are owned
When
by
you're
even
online,
bigger companies.
It's easy to find
Disney,
out who you are.
Viacom,
Okay,
Time
we
Warner,
have the
News
Razor
Corp,
Schwartz.
BMG, and General Electric own more than 90% of media holdings in the United States. All these companies are represented by 2 lobby
The verdict
groups,
was
Recording
that I had
Industry
infringed,
Association
that I
of
was
America
liable for
and the Motion
copyright
Picture
infringement
Association
for
of
24
America.
wanted somewhere around
Like it or not, this
$4,500
owns
per
and controls
for a total of
$222,000. Their
$222,000.
primary
They can take up to 25% of my wages to try and pay back the amount. Mr. Gabriel, who is the lead attorney for the plaintiffs, said it best.
by my favorite artist, Girl Talk.
By anyone.
Start with Girl Talk.
Most musicians will say that the best musicians copy.
Hey boy, hey, what you doing, man? Hey, what you doing? What you gonna do? That ain't the piece we supposed to play. Come on. Well, I guess I better get on here with it.
Jazz musicians, when they ad-lib and happen to do a cover of somebody's record and they went into the ad-lib and into their riff, you know, you kind of say that that riff, the ad-lib belongs to the musician.
me.
So right now,
You can also look at
From
the blues, and for that matter, you can look at anything. I mean, melodies have always been borrowed.
Song that Mr. O'Sullivan, it was his big hit. So he was just a no-nonsense guy. He didn't want the song to rap version. So he decides he's going to make an example of this kid and files this huge lawsuit.
I'm alone again, naturally. All alone again, naturally.
And the judge pronounced it biblically incorrect.
Now, how country is that? How backwoods is that? That's somebody who totally is like oblivious to the speed of things happening.
Shouldn't Bismarck have an album out by now? And you start hearing, oh man, he's going through hell, and then he comes out with an album like a year later, and the album is titled All Samples Cleared. Some of those first sampling cases, or those early records, whether it be
Instead, what we've seen is something much worse than a revolt. There's a growing extremism that comes from both sides in this debate in response to this conflict between the law and the many, many times over. And both extremes in this debate are just wrong. Now, the balance that I try to fight for, one particular such plan that I know something about, but I don't want to violate Ted's first commandment of
musical element and make sure that they've agreed to what you want to do. And that can be very time-consuming because there's a lot of people involved.
It was created by the same country that defied United States intellectual property laws by breaking multiple international patents on HIV medication, producing their own copies of the drugs for a fraction of the price. Free, universal access for citizens was their mission. The drug industry saw this as an act of war. Brazil saw it as an act of life.
Brazil is fighting for access to drugs to fight AIDS for all its people. This policy has resulted in controversy at international forums. So we've put our case to the world, and we fought for it.
Remix this, I'm fine with it.
I do not give you permission. Just to make sure my point gets across, let me say it more rhythmically. I don't want to mix my words in a song to play in a club. That will make you rhyme, okay? Make you rhyme. Make you rhyme, okay? Make you rhyme. Make you rhyme, okay? Make you rhyme.